What's up, everybody? Happy first Nitro Gang live stream of the year. And, well, I'm going to start off with a big bang, a big tub of hopefully at least 2 useful parts inside. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the story of what is going down, why it's taking up the entire table, and that sickening little X-Ray NT18. Recently just did a bit of a video on that one. That one belongs to our good friend, channel member, and viewer, Boosted RC. Gonna have that thing tuned, ready, and sent back to him so he can yell, "One speed is all you need." Because I know Boosted RC Brian is definitely gonna enjoy that little Nitro right there. They really need to make mini Nitros great again. Truth is, they're still fun in a small area. They're fuel efficient. And there's still a Nitro. So you literally got 0 bad parts. Anyway, let us continue, guys. So, the thumbnail came out a little bit fuzzy. I don't know why. But you know what's not fuzzy? Hopefully, the stuff in this box. I don't even know what that means because, well, stuff in the box could only really be fuzzy one way. Anybody here want to tell me which way it could be fuzzy? Sometimes you buy stuff that's so old, it tends to grow hair. Anybody ever come across that so far? I have many times. By the way, guys, I want to ask you all a question before I continue. Anybody see anything interesting here at the bottom? Big Boys Toys, how you doing, bro? Let me say hello to my awesome channel viewers out here. We got Big Boys Toys, Dolo Brolic, what's up, man? Happy New Year. James Simmerl, Lotus RC, best channel mod out there. 582 Productions, making a Kyosho great again. Nicholas Hill, how you doing? And Nitro Gang Queen Melissa, Nitro Pimp just showed up as well. Now, I know Nitro Pimp's recent video, if you guys haven't watched it, he's been trying to step up his video game, and I am real proud of that. As you could tell, I don't go far without my camera. I always put the camera next to the Nitros. That way, it could inhale some of the greatness. You know what I mean? Like, truth is, that Nitro could run forever. That battery cannot run forever. Therefore, we need to do a little symbiosis, okay? Symbiosis is what needs to go down. Anyway, let me continue, my bros. Jose Velasquez, how you doing? Happy first year of Nitro Gang activities. Now, inside this bin, I've already had a bit of a look, guys, and there could be a couple gems. Let's do a little quickie. Let's do a little quickie on what we see from the top, and then, well, I'm gonna go in. And I am hoping, I am 100% hoping, bros, that there will be an engine in there that I could stick into. You know what this is? This is a Nitro I featured previously on this channel. This is the very first generation RS4, the one with the silver chassis. It's basically bottom of the barrel over here. But if you like RS4s, there's nothing wrong about running stock. That's right, Nitro Pimp goes OG RS4. So yes, the very, very first RS4, you know, most people really have the RS4 too. The reason is most of them were ready to run. The RS4, the very first generation came with a .12. It was relatively underwhelming. Such fun stuff. How you doing? Dylan Siebert, how you doing? And a big shout out to the Nitro Princess over at Boosted RC's house. Sickening. It's his daughter, by the way, okay? How you doing there? How you doing? All right. Now, there's also a second option for maybe a fire in the hole today. You guys might remember this car from last week's stream. This is, well, it's a car that doesn't want to stay put. Stay put. Look at this. It don't want to stay put, bro. I need some kind of block to keep it put. Anyway, Super Nitro. So I'm hoping if things go well, there will be a motor inside this box that I think today will be bolted on to one of these cars. Now, each of these has a story. Some are better than others. How you doing there? We got Tony Mobley and Mike Do. How you doing, people? Enjoying the RS4s. Well, we got to keep the RS4s alive. Dylan Siebert, how you doing, man? So let me put these a little bit to the side. Actually, major updates on some of these. Zachary Blanco, how you doing? So you guys might remember this RS4 from last week. I've done a good amount of work to it. You might remember this is the one with that OS 15 engine. We got Off Nagai and Australiano. How you guys doing? And Jonathan Barnett. Guys, I have an uncanny ability to not mispronounce your usernames. Gotta get a hell yeah for that. So this is the chassis from last week. I have cleaned it up a good amount. And the engine is in pieces. This might be assembled later or tomorrow. I'm not quite confident on what day it will be, depending on how things go. But I want to ask you all a question before I unbox the stuff inside here. Anybody notice anything that they like? I'm just curious from the top down. Because there is at least... Eric's RC, how you doing? There's at least 4 things in here that I think are super awesome. I picked this up. It was literally yesterday, bros. Yesterday, we got Fat Chubby 47. What's going on? He goes, is that a blue S Max 3.3? That is correcto. Correcto. You got a good eye. In fact, you got 2 good eyes. Very good eyes. Question is, anybody want to point out some of the interesting things? So this was a listing I picked up. And the reason I got it, well, it wasn't that much money. Let's just say under $100. Not a lot under, but under $100. Still, you know, there's no cars here. But what you see in the bin is what I got. Ben, how you doing, bro? Ben, say how you doing. This is going directly to my friend Benjamin Martinez here in the chat. It is, in fact, a super... I didn't even know this existed. No Music RC, how you doing, man? Rare Schumacher Menace 21 green and yellow body. I didn't even know they made a green and yellow body. This is probably the nicest one I've ever seen. MGW, what's going on? MGW over here building a big block T-Max. Happy to hear that. So this is going directly to my buddy Ben. He's helped me out a lot over the years. We're good friends in real life, and you know the same could be said about most people here. But more or less about him and a few others, which is good. So he needed a Menace body, going right over to you, bro. I'm going to put it in FedEx, and FedEx is the Nissan Rogue. The Nissan Rogue back seat with a variable compression turbo. But honestly, so situation is, listing pops up, right? I'm like, oh man, it's like New Year. Melissa and I went over somewhere for like, you know, New Year's, whatever. As you guys know, there was a bit of a live stream, which was relatively good. I unboxed the Hobeo. And then this listing pops up. I'm like, all right, let me throw out an offer. At first, the offer was declined, right? The guy said, well, he has someone else coming for it. And I was like, all right, man, no hard feelings. You know, let me know if the guy doesn't pull through. You know, it really pays to be nice because the guy did not pull through. And you know who pulled up? This guy you're watching right here pulled up. Let me get a whiff of this tea. Once again, it's cold. Guys, if you don't know, I had furnace problems this entire couple past days. Cost me a shit ton of money to repair the furnace. Luckily, the furnace is not dead. But, you know, $600 later, it's dead. Well, before that, it was dead. All right, so what I'm going to do, we're just going to start going, I'm going to start pulling stuff out of the box, right? I haven't actually looked at all of it. There could be some gems, but based on the listing, guys, if you want... Actually, I'm not going to pull up the listings. You know, we got Matthew, how you doing, man? Do you have any RS4s for sale? Al Casa, what's up, bro? Long time no see. I know Al Casa's out there making many RCs great again in the great country of Long Island. Get it? Long Island's not a country, but some people outside of America think it is. But it isn't. Don't call it a country. It's a sanctuary, okay? Just not a tax sanctuary. You go to Long Island, you pay property taxes up the wazoo, you know what I mean? That's why I stick to myself over here in New York City. You get some of that Democrat beneficiary status. Of course, I don't agree with that, but you get some of that Democrat beneficiary status, okay? Hellfire, how you doing, man? He goes, we need a full RC fleet overview. Dude, I would need, like, spotlights on my shoulders to do that for you. Because I have stuff on random stairs in this household. There's stuff on stairs. Okay, stairs. Melissa almost tripped on a Kyosho FW06 the other day. She almost freaking tripped on a vintage Kyosho with a Porsche body. You believe that crap? It's hard to believe, but it's true. Anyway, as we unbox stuff, I want you guys to keep a look. Actually, you know what? Before I continue, this Super Nitro, I want to do a little bit of a zoom in. Only RC, what's up, man? Hope you got some good weather out there in California. Unlike me out here, it's pretty garbage. I'm going to do a little zoom in on the rear end because there's something interesting here that you guys might remember last time I was complaining. Actually, you can't see it because the calipers. Okay, whatever. We're not going to do no zoom in. Forget the zoom in. I'm going to have to do the zoom out. Forget the zoom in. You're not going to be able to see it. I already assembled some of it, so that ain't going to happen right now. Okay, let's go take stuff out. Once again, guys, Happy New Year. Let's hope things go better than last year. But of course, if you're still alive and kicking, you're not permanently injured, you know, nothing bad happened, then let's at least be grateful for that. But I would say part of the human condition is always to strive for better than before. In fact, that was ex-Vice President Obama's platform, change. And my platform is make Nitro great again by changing electrics to Nitros. That's pretty straightforward, my platform right here, guys, okay? If you agree with that platform, give me a hell yeah, give it a thumbs up, and show the channel some loving. All right, let's disassemble, I guess. I don't know, there's like a lot of stuff over here, so. Oh man, Al Casa goes, broke the pull start on LRP32. Yeah, those LRPs, they have like, honestly, in my experience, really weak pull starter cords and crazy compression. Like the only way to start those engines, you know, if they're fairly new, we're talking like under a gallon, you got to preheat the crap out of them and loosen the plug. But Al Casa here is not a beginner, so I'm pretty sure the engine is to blame. Okay, he's not a beginner. All right, so we already discussed this beautiful Schumacher Menace 21 F350 Super Duty body. This is going directly to our awesome channel member, Benjamin. All right, so I'm going to set that to the side. Honestly, I have almost never seen one of these in... Actually, no, I have never seen one of these in this color. Usually they're blue or like a black color, right? Anybody here knows? The Menace 21, it's basically the 3-speed baby of the 10-scale Nitro truck world. They claimed it was the fastest 10-scale truck, which is probably accurate. But the truth is, can you even hit the 3-speed baby? All right. All right, so we got this for now. The stickers are all good. I don't even really see any scratches on it. It's in really good condition over here. Real solid. Probably the highlight of the Ford design era. This is pre-F-150 Lightning. What were they thinking? I mean, when the Ford executives decide to lie, they really lie, don't they? It's hard to believe that people that make so much money can lie so good. And then still take private jets to get government bailouts. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, so I'm going to put it to the side in a safe location. Anybody want to know what the safe location is? I'll let you know what it is. Do you want to know what the safe location is? I could show you what the safe location is. The safe location is directly next to a Terra Crusher under the table. Let me put it this way. Time has not killed it. Therefore, the body is perfect. Just for some storage. Batty Life, how you doing, man? Nitro wants to know, do I have a Menace to show the viewers? I do have a Menace. If you guys want to see the Menace, I can go laboriously pick it out somewhere. And when I mean laboriously, I mean laboriously. You guys see that Savage pipe sticking out, though? That's why I bought this slot. I'm hoping there's some epic Nitro parts in here. Let me go laboriously pick out a Nitro. Trying to find the other one. Hold on a second. Man, if you were a Menace 21, where would you be? Where would you be if your name was Menace 21? Well, the correct answer is in my hands. All right, here we go. I actually have, I think, two of these. This body doesn't fit perfectly. But yeah, this is the blue silver design. Good looking, but someone also drilled these body post holes actually horrible. It doesn't even fit. You could see in the back, it doesn't fit correctly. So I would have to re-drill them. Whoever did this was a real Nitro troll. And by that, I mean, I do not respect the guy. Zero respect for ruining a sickening Schumacher body. These have pretty high thickness and almost always will never crack. The only kind of issue is for cooling. They do have all the windows cut out. So if this thing flips or whatever, you know, you have a real tiny A-pillar protecting the whole thing. Anyway, let me show you guys if you all want to see. This is a request from Nitro Pimp. And we'll take a quick look at it. So this one is a 100% runner. That's right, Wonder Bread. Zero respect for people that butcher bodies. Zero respect. I mean, how hard is it? You just drill the damn holes and call it a day. All right, so Schumacher is one of those brands that they're very good on paper, and then they're very, well, depending how you look at it, subjective in practice. You know what I mean? So this one, they all have this rear exhaust. Good setup, in my opinion. I like it. These are 10-scale models with 3-speed transmissions. But they do not have adjustable shift points. It's basically spring-loaded, so it will shift when it's made to shift. So the good news is with that, you can't really have an issue generally. All the 3-speed Schumachers I've ever had, they do shift, but good luck, you know, on the road actually hitting third. It's not that easy. These things are going to be going like 40 plus by that time, right? Best thing about these, you have the Pro 21R Thunder Tiger engines. These are real solid. They're reliable. And if you ever seen Schumacher throttle return springs, it's basically the whole chassis over here. I mean, it does what it has to do. It does work, but it looks funny. Dan Davidson, how you doing, man? To all of you guys, happy Friday night Nitro and Happy New Year. Let me continue on this one. This one, actually, my buddy Ben helped me repair, rebuild with a couple parts it needed, and now it's basically straight. Fuel tanks are pretty moderate, pretty average on these, nothing really that exciting. If you really had to, you could probably zip tie like a Revo in here if you had to. I don't know why you would have to. So these are actually use belt drive. There's no slipper clutch. The belt drive is in a tunnel that's on the bottom there. Not a giant bumper. The Menace 21, in my opinion, is a vast improvement over the XTR 3E. XTR was the older generation, the two-wheel drive. You really want all-wheel drive. Now, these models, they have ball diffs. Now, ball diffs, they're good, but for bashing, I would say you tend to lose some power. You really have to adjust the ball diff in the front, like we're talking religiously. You have to convert to Scientology to adjust it correctly. Because otherwise you wind up getting a lot of grinding in the drivetrain. It's not as smooth in some cases. It's possible this one's old. That's highly possible. You also have pretty much they call the E-Start system. Pretty good layout all around. I do like them. These models compared to the older generations. Texas, what's up, bro? Happy New Year to you, man. These models, unlike the XTR3E, at least use 14mm hubs. Older generations of the Schumachers, your tires are going to be your biggest problem, right? Schumacher really wanted you to buy tires and spend a good amount of money on them. But what they don't know is industrious Chinese brands a decade down the line would solve that problem for us. Anyways, this is the layout. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, I do like the throttle linkage setups. They use relatively average components, in my opinion. But if you slam this anywhere, you know, the way these things are built, you're going to need parts. You're going to need basically part support on the speed dial. All right, so engines are real good. Only real bad situation, I'm going to flip the bottom of the chassis. You guys could see sometimes I have a lot of scratched RCs, but this is not one of them. Only one average scratch in the back. Anybody want to point out something that's really a disaster? That's right, Nitro Pimp goes, those are not built to crash. Exactly. Michael James, what's up, man? Anybody see something that is not good? Well, I would say not good, but like not common for a car of this level. There's actually two items I want to point out. Two items. Amputee RC, man, how you doing? Amputee RC, bro, I have a 3D printer, but obviously these files, you know, I can't just make them. But I do. Eric and Matthew, how you doing, man? Our classic OG buddy here. I was actually going to mention you earlier because I was going to begin working on the Super Nitro, and I was going to use one of those Super Nitro parts you sent over a while back. But that might be tomorrow's video. Right now we are going over some unboxing of random Nitro and I would say generic parts. So what I wanted you guys to answer, what the bad thing is here is, okay, Ben goes torque screws. Okay, that's correct. Actually, there's no access to the flywheel. I was thinking that. You know, you could think different things, but I was thinking no access to the flywheel. Honestly, it would not have been difficult because, bros, they're letting you see the gears through the bottom. Why would they not give you access to the flywheel? Like, it's not that big of a problem to do. But once again, you have to use their built-in starting system, which generally is pretty solid. Basically just a hex. You could use any hex and a drill. I've used the drill many times. The other interesting thing is this. This is the adjustable belt tensioner. But notice, the belt is internal. So Schumacher, pretty clever setup, in my opinion. Adjustable belt tensioner, but you adjust it from the bottom, but you can't even see the belt. So good luck figuring that out correctly, because it ain't going to be easy. You got to basically kind of feel it, because there is a giant belt going through the entire chassis. Don't know if that's something that is a good idea. Generally, a belt tensioner, right, is something you see from the top or the side, or you could literally see the slack of the belt changing, or you could touch it. Having an adjustable belt tensioner from the bottom of the chassis, that is essentially you kind of sliding these two screws in and out, right, to change the tension. It could get a little hairy. I would say it could get hella hairy. What do you guys think about that? Hella hairy, in my opinion. All right, Schumacher Menace 21, real nice. Actually, let's try the green body on it. Let's just check. I haven't tried the green body yet. Okay, so I have to raise. Okay, so these body posts are not for this car. No, they're for this car, but they're too low. It's not going to sit correctly. All right, but otherwise, it fits. Otherwise, but these body posts are all messed up somehow. I don't know why. Whoever I got this from, the body posts are like not correct. Either way, it's freaking green. Okay, it's green. It's green, baby, green. Color of Schumacher money, because when you crash them, you're going to need that money, is basically how it works. All right, let me put this away. And even this one doesn't fit. Like, it fits like, you know, I don't want to curse on here, but it fits poorly. All right, let's continue. I'm going to remove this, put it back to its position on the totem pole in the Nitro heaven in the sky, and we'll come back to the parts. Truth be told, I have another menace somewhere and I can't find it. Literally cannot find it. I put it somewhere, I don't know where it is. All right, guys, it's time to check out what we have, because I want to make at least one Nitro, maybe have an engine tonight. All right. Let me see how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to basically just remove some of the bodies, take a look at them. Some of them I didn't even look at yet. Okay. So here we got a pretty much Savage Basher body, whatever. It's kind of junk. it could be usable for like a basher body. This one's not washed. When you wash it, it'll be average. It's a Savage 25. I mean, you know, once you wash it, it'll be okay. You could like fix it up 50%, but it's basically, you know, it's highly, highly not in good condition. But that's part of the RC world. Next up, we have a Savage Flux HP body. This is the electric version. Surprisingly, this one is in pretty good condition. No issues with this. The Savage Flux is one of the HPI lineup models I've never had. And I don't know. It was kind of cool, actually. I remember these were pretty beast level when they came out. The Savage Flux HP. It's honestly a shame that the Flux models cost more than the Nitro models. I just don't see that being a reality right here. You know, I was just watching a review recently on whatever, some new, you know, $60,000 crossover. Anybody here want to name me what crossover it was? And I'm thinking, you know, these reviewers are talking about the engine, the transmission. Bro, you could get one of the world's fastest Model Ys. They'll destroy that crossover for less than that. I mean, are these gasoline manufacturers overcharging? Or is Tesla undercharging? Because I find it hard to believe we've all been fed that electric batteries are in a Tesla super expensive, right? But how is it that a Nissan Murano Platinum 60 grand is more than the Model Y performance? How is it? I do not get it. Because there's something going on over there that don't make sense. These gasoline manufacturers are basically called legacy manufacturers at this point. Tarek, how you doing, bro? Happy Friday to you. First stream of the year, Tarek. I basically just started. Let me do a recap for you and everyone else. Picked up this box of random parts. Some of it has to be Nitro. I haven't really looked through it, but I see a pipe. So I'll get to it in a little bit. We'll go through it. Picked this up on, what was it, Thursday? Yeah, New Year's. So hopefully it's a New Year surprise in there for me, but who the hell knows? So what do you guys think of my conversation so far? All right, let's get rid of this body. I don't have a Savage Flux HP. But who knows? It's possible. All right, next up, I'm just going to take out some of the ones on the left side. Hope you guys let me know if you could see okay. You know, I try real hard to provide good, clear video. All right, so this is a pretty rare. DJ Kenneth, how you doing, man? We got a sickening DJ in the house. Can't believe it. Yo, DJ, did you hear my Nitro Gang theme? Sickening. Kidding around, bro. Thank you for showing up. All right, so this is a Sport Max, right? S Max or Sport Max. I'm not sure which one. A little bit different. I know Nitro Pimp and a couple people have these bodies. This one is, I would say 50% totaled, right? But 50% totaled is zero. It's not that bad. Rory, thank you, man, for that channel super chat. We picked this up on Thursday with that money. Actually, a lot more, but that's good. Thank you, man. Appreciate that from Rory. Let's continue. So I don't currently have one of these. Maybe in the future, if I find one, we'll run it. But basically, the whole story with these Sport Max type bodies is Traxxas was really... I don't really like to discuss these too much. They're kind of unknown, and they're not better than the T-Max, bro. So Fat Chubby goes S-Max body. That's right. If you guys want, I could talk a little more about the car parts here, because I do have some detailed stories about it, right? But the truth is, Sport Max... S-Max, if you want a Max, get a T-Max. Anybody here agree with me on that? Like, you're going to get more features. The truth is, those other models were sold to be cheaper. That was their only goal. The goal of the S-Max and the Sport Max were basically to remove parts, okay? One of them had a single speed, one of them had a reverse, and I think they both only had rear-wheel drive. So really, the goal was for people to buy parts to upgrade to T-Max level. Like, that was literally the goal. So Wonder Bread, that's the story, right? They were marketed as cheaper models. I know today people really go out of their way to pick up the Sport Max stuff, but the truth is, just get a T-Max, okay? Unless you really somehow are like 100% in love with like the this style of body. For me personally, bodies don't matter. They're not women, okay? They're RC cars. That's okay. Mechanics is what matters to me here. All right, so we got the S-Max body. Let me put it to the side. It's pretty average, I would say. You know, these cars are usually abused pretty hardcore. Next up, we got a T-Max body. Pretty average, I would say, average use with a little WD-40. This will look not too garbage. This one could be used on pretty much anything. The top is okay condition. Nothing is busted, right? So, yeah, this pretty much good, I would say. I paid a little bit under, you know, there wasn't that much money, but collectively, with Chipotle and tolls, a little under $100 for everything you see here. You know, you got to include the Chipotle and tolls. I don't know if you guys know, but the Staten Island tolls are ridiculous. So that's basically $25 right there for you. All right, let's move this for now. But yeah, the Sport Max type stuff, it's cool because it's rare. But trust me, it's not rare because they're good. It's rare because people just wanted a T-Max at the time. They didn't want a rear-wheel drive cheap T-Max that you got to spend a ton of money and, like, buy stuff for. You know what I mean? Like, it just not, in my opinion, Traxxas tried to get, you know, lower-end cars in the market. I give them props for that. But in today's time, like, you're actually going to pay more for less features. So based on that, I would say it's a thumbs down. Big, fat thumbs down. All right, next up. All right, so I'm going to... There's a bunch of crap here, guys, but I'm going to just start going from the top. All right, so next up, I haven't looked at many of these. Some of these I might honestly just junk completely. I don't know. This appears to be trash. It's a Jeep body. I guess they were trash already, but this one's literally trash. Yeah, this one, pretty good paint job. Paint job, not bad at all. But it appears to be a genuine HPI body. But yeah, basically Jeep trash, just like the Jeep body. That's why it's such fun stuff. There's a reason why these Jeeps basically sell for nothing on the used market. Because it's basically an off-road piece of junk, you know. If you're going to want to drive these on a daily on the highway, you're going to get a ton of wind noise, ton of tire noise, bad fuel economy, you know, the aerodynamics of a brick. Basically everything the opposite of a good car. So this one, I don't even think I'm going to clean. I'm probably just going to, what do you guys think, throw this one out? You know. I do like to use everything I get, but like stuff like this, it's a tragedy. Seems to be a savage body, obviously, which makes perfect sense why the whole rear end is destroyed. It's a typical savage symptom. Yeah, guys, that could be the name of a band, Savage Symptom. SavageSymptom.com. All right, what do you think? Garbage? Yeah. I'm making piles on the floor. One pile is recycling. One pile is upcycling. Anybody know what upcycling means? That's a modern term that hipsters use. All right, next up. Let me do a little... This one is actually a little bit 50% maybe impressive. I could see it has a lot of work done to it. You know what? Get rid of this. It's a little hard to film. These bodies are kind of huge. So it's dirty. I could see there's a bunch of overspray. Like we're talking a ton of overspray. But, what's this, fishing line? Yeah, someone actually put like some metal cage in there. Pretty clever. Not what you want to do, add weight to a car that's meant to actually be lightweight. All right, so the whole inside, I don't know if this is like Rhino liner or something. This might be Rhino liner. You know, I don't own a pickup truck. Anybody want to tell me what that is? It seems if I bend it, it's way more rigid. This might be some kind of bed liner. Yeah. This one's not too bad, actually. If it wasn't for the real bad overspray on the inside, like right there, I could see it, that would be solid. Ray Coral, thank you, bro. He goes, happy Saturday, Hybrid and the gang. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So for Ray and everyone just joining here, picked this up on New Year's Day, and now we're taking a look at it. It's basically the long and the short of it, right? And I think there's going to be a sickening engine in there, guys. So I'm actually waiting to dig into the engine, and I have a car for it to install too. All right, so this one I might wash. It seems pretty dope. Also, probably a Savage body. I could tell based on the width of the body post on the front. What do you guys think? You think Savage body over here? I mean, this is honestly pretty clever. This is legitimately like metal. Savage, I think it's a Savage body. You know what? I have a Savage. Why am I asking? I could just visually verify. You guys want a visual verification? Well, I'm going to go pick a Savage from the floor. Surprised nobody asked me to pick a Savage from the floor. I told you I have Savages on the floor. All right. Whoa, this Savage has an upside-down engine. What the hell is going on? That's a real mystery. You all ever see upside-down engines like that? Dude, you know what this means? This means I ran out of storage space, and I have to now stick engines upside down. Crazy. So this is my own Savage. You guys might have seen this body in another video that I ran on the Nitro Addiction giveaway Savage. But let's take a look on the inside. Yeah, baddie life. This is... It was on the floor, bro. Like, I told you, I have Savages left and right, dude. Left and right. I'm not Savage King over here. But truth be told, I have a lot of Savages. But, I mean, you know, there's many people that have more. It's all good. All right, so let's remove this. This is just to protect their body. What the hell is that? I forgot what I was doing to this engine. I'm surprised right now. Mob wants to see the Lincoln LS. Bro, the Lincoln LS is outside right now. If you want, I could do maybe a startup of it later, but it's cold outside. I'm afraid my furnace is going to break down. So I don't really want to open the door to the yard. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, those are New York City problems over here. All right, so let me see what's going on. I forgot what the hell's going on over here. All right, so we got a fuel tank. I was probably cleaning this fuel tank. Yeah, all right, so this I think this fuel tank is junk. That's probably why I left it off. All right, so we got upside-down engine. This is the one that I used to wear on the necklace, on the keychain. Here we got... What the hell is going on over here? Hold on. I think this one has never been seen. Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember what we got going on here. This was the engine I was planning to install it. It's a SH28. It actually has a situation called all of this is missing. So all of that is missing. That's basically the only problem. I need a LRP style pull starter, and well, the one-way bearing is inside. So that was actually my plan. What's up, Donnie G? How you doing? But regardless, let me forget about this for now. Just put it here. I guess I forgot to keep working on it. Just put it on the ground. Sickening storage solution. Let's try the body. Okay, so this engine is crooked, so I got to remove it. Can I get a hell yeah, bro? Hybrid over here. Trying to... Oh, yeah. Can't believe it. One with body holes that actually fit. Wow, I cannot believe it, bro. Snoopy, thank you, man. Can't believe it. Body holes actually fit. You know what? This washed and polished, if it wasn't for this garbage overspray, would look pretty dope, I think, in my opinion. It's not too bad, huh? What do y'all think? These are like... Yeah, this guy really went hardcore. What kind of clips? Oh my God, let me zoom in on this. What kind of clips are these? Yeah, this could be a real good basher body, actually. What kind of... Are these like fishing line clips? All right, so what happened is actually this guy put so much... Oh yeah, here we go. These holes need to be expanded. What the hell is this? Yeah, locking clips, right? Yeah, you don't really need this for a Nitro truck, to be honest with you. Why would you put this? So what do you do? I don't understand how you use this. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to figure that out or swap these. I'm gonna probably just swap these. This disgusting right here. We ain't gonna be doing that. But hybrid over here has nitros on the floor. Don't tell Melissa she's gonna be upset. All right, pretty dope. Paint job sucks. Honestly, could have done way better. But it's gonna be a proper basher. Got a little bit of cooling over there. Not too bad. We got over 101 viewers, guys. I appreciate you stopping in. First stream of the year. And let's make 2026 greater than any other year previously in terms of Nitro Resurrections. I think it could go down. All right, so that Savage body, pretty... I mean, it's usable. I'm not going to junk this one. This one's pretty good. I mean, it looks good. Clever setup, actually. With some bed liner. All right, yeah, Lotus goes, that bend part goes over the post. Yeah, I'm probably just going to figure out how to do that off camera. All right, so I'm making a pile of bodies. Let me put this back in. Yeah, so this Savage is actually quite dope. I have never shown... Joey's Ace, man, how you doing? Just, you know, some part stuff and random Savages. Okay, let me turn this around. So this Savage, I was resurrecting, ran into an issue with this engine. I need that particular Polestar. It's about like 25 bucks, not the end of the world. Otherwise, this engine is a runner. As you could tell, I have swapped in a proper HPI carb. The carb is good. This is obviously just temporary here, you know. But it's clean inside. All right, so let me put this back. This Savage actually pretty dope. It has a metal spur gear. It might have a 3-speed. I am not 100% sure. Oh my God, I remember why I saved this now. We got ourselves reverse on this one. Oh, that explains it, why I had it to the side to work on. We got the third servo for reverse. Sickening. Oftentimes, now this might be kind of an observation you guys could tell me. By the way, this was the upgraded pipe, the ribbed pipe for the Savage. Pretty good pipe. Oftentimes, I've discovered that when you have reverse in one of these trucks, the person usually the person that owned it before usually also put in the optional 3-speed. Usually that's the case because let's say you buy a Savage RTR, you want to get some options, right? Back in the day. So you're going to get all that crap. And all that crap means 3-speed, baby. That's what it means. All right, so let me put this back. Savage 2125 style radio box, most annoying in the world, by the way. The 4.6 radio box is way easier to work on. All right, so I don't know why this was under there. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just stick it back in there. Put the body on. What the hell is going on? And call it a day. Due to space, I have no choice. Yeah, I think this tank is destroyed, actually. Yeah, I have it here to either do some future cleaning or to junk it. Okay. I'm going to leave that here. Of course, you know, I don't have a dual engine nitro, but now I do. Dual engine nitro, baby. Tim, how you doing, man? Happy Friday, first day of New Year stream for me. I'm just doing a parts haul kind of video. I honestly don't know what's in that box in the thumbnail you saw, but we're going to find out. Spotty Jack Raycroll wants to know, is that pipe the one that came stock with a Savage? The answer is no. All Savages, unless you get the XL, all Savages always come with a plastic pipe, right? This is the optional upgraded ribbed pipe. So Paris Racing made some of the best ribbed pipes for RS4s. There really is some logic in the ripple design, and they do provide a good, crazy amount of low-end power. They also sound deeper, in my opinion. They're very, very deep. So yeah, definitely not a stock pipe. The header is a regular header, exhaust gasket, regular gasket, but the pipe is aftermarket. Well, it's a HPI branded part, rather. I would not call an HPI aftermarket. That's called optional. Right? You guys agree? All right. Let us continue. Yeah, so that's basically the logic. The ripples, there is science to it. It creates a different flow of exhaust gases. All right, let me get rid of it. All right, Savage back to the floor. All right, Nitro Pimp is correct here. He says only the SS model had the metal pipe. Yes, no RTR ever came with it, other than the XL. XL came with them. Let me see if I can find one. All right, just for a little show and tell, nothing crazy. I'm going to show you guys some of the best pipes really ever made. I'm sure people here know it's nothing new here. All right, so first up, we got the CVEC. The regular 10 scale style CVEC. This one's actually a treasure because it has a proper RS4 header. I'm definitely going to use that somewhere. What the hell is that? Somebody drill a second pressure port in this and then plug it up. Oh my God, that's why it's here. I mean, it'll be fine. It'll still work. And this is, once again, that same HPI ribbed pipe. Best of the best, baby. Let me check out what's going on here for a second in the comments. All right, so enough with these pipes. Let's move on to what else. All right, so over here we got, I'm gonna put some of this. So there's two bodies here. All right, so one is, it appears to be a clear unpainted body with the plastic on it, but of course there's no sticker sheet. That's not fun. You definitely need the sticker sheet or else it just doesn't look good unpainted, you know? So we got a clear body. And there's also a regular 2.5. Oh, what the hell is this? Yeah, this prior owner, whoever had it, man, he took some real liberties with these cars. Why did he cut off the entire tailgate in the back? You need the tailgate, bro. Imagine a Toyota Tacoma with no tailgate. Do you really have a Tacoma if you got no tailgate? Just ask yourself that question. Is a Tacoma with no tailgate really a Tacoma? I just don't think so. I just don't think so, bros. Give me a second here. I'm going to get ready to move the next couple things out here. All right. Next up, pretty clean front end. Once this is washed, it'll be nice. This is one of the original colors, I think, called the Pro Graphics. One of the nicer ones, I would say. The very early 2.5 ones. All right, next up, I think we're done with the bodies, guys. It is time. I don't honestly even know what's inside. Holy moly, I see something interesting. Bros, I see something interesting. Tell me where you want me to go from, left or right, front to rear. Which one is it going to be? Let me get the height over here going. All right, such fun stuff goes engines. I honestly do not know if there's more than one engine in here. I know in the listing, I saw one engine. And this is that one engine I saw. Ray Coral wants to know how much I paid. I wound up, unfortunately, because this was kind of far away, and, you know, I had to include the cost of Chipotle. I wound up paying a little under $100 for all this. Not a crazy amount of money, but $100 is $100, you know. Plus, there's no guarantees on anything here. As you see, is what it is, right? It was obviously, I think, it wasn't from a viewer. It was a person that like cleaned out, I think, someone's house and just took everything and sold it. So we got a Yokomo engine. I'm going to see what the situation here is. So I'm going to try to stick this into a RS4. That's the plan today. I want to show you guys before I continue, actually, this engine before the rest of this stuff. I don't even know what's in there. But when I was looking at the listing, guys, when I was looking at the listing, there's one major thing that stuck out here. I'm going to open this up. So I cleaned this engine up a little bit. It was actually worse than you see here. I'm going to open this up a little bit. I really want to show one thing that is very, very important on this engine. Even if the engine is toast, I can fix it. But there's one main thing here that is super important. Anybody want to tell me what it is? It's not that. I don't care about that. There's one thing on this old Yokomo engine that's important, bros. Big Boys Toys, thank you, man. From Safa, Nitro, Princess, and Carlo. We appreciate that, man. Thank you. All going towards this Nitro purchase. Michael James is correct. The engine mounts. James Simrod goes the header. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, bro. You know what? I'm going to really get close on this header because there are some things here I've never seen before. All right, so there's a couple good things. Texas is correct. Engine mounts. I think, you see the screw right there? I think whoever had this obviously had a hole in the header. And, well, filled it up with a screw. So I would say the header is toast. The header is probably junk. No big deal. But I think this is actually a header from probably the upgrade pipe for the T-Max. Anybody wouldn't correct me on that? Because notice how the pipe actually doesn't extend all the way here. It like stops a little bit in the wrong angle. All right, so let's turn it to the side. The other good thing I notice, we have the HPI Racing Clutch. This thing, as the stupid phrase some people say, this is going to come in clutch. Okay, you know that phrase people say, this is going to come in clutch? I hate that phrase. It's stupid. It's something Whistling Diesel would say and then not pay his taxes. Me, on the other hand, I don't say that, and I pay my taxes. Now, of course, paying your taxes doesn't make you a great person, but it makes you a person better than Wesley Snipes. Could I get a hell yeah on that? All right, next thing I see, the carb is okay. All right, it's a single needle carb. Now, these engines, they're basically garbage. Let's call it, oh, I see something else interesting here. There appears to be a metal shim for the gasket. So far, proof has shown that metal shims are trash. Also, I would say not totally bad, but there is a flat screw for the header. Usually you use like, a hex screw at best. If you upgrade something, you should use a hex screw like a 2.5. Pretty rare to see that. But my goal is, guys, I'm going to show you the goal. My goal, if I have the parts, and I should be able to stick this in just to test it, I don't think I should have an issue. The most important thing when you're, working on old HPIs is these damn engine mounts. That is the most important thing. With these, you could put on any motor and you'll have adjustable gear mesh. So obviously in the front, I'm going to have to come up with like the clutch bell setup, all that crap. Let me just for now see if I will get a fit into this chassis. You guys think it's going to be a go? Obviously these screws, you notice these screws right here? They need to be cut. They're way too long. Take a look. So it cannot go beyond the engine mounts. So these screws are also incorrect. But that's, you could still use a starter box. It ain't the end of the world. Honestly, I could test this out today. Let me remove this clutch. This is, if you guys don't know, the HPI Racing Clutch. Now, why they call it the racing clutch. Very, very important. This was actually the part I used to get long ago when I first needed clutches, you know, before, you know, I guess eBay and the internet, like when I was a kid. This was the HPI racing clutch set. So they usually have a pretty tight spring, and these holes let you adjust where you put it on the flywheel, and the different pins, usually I use the middle one, that will be a different level of engagement. So you could have, like, you know, clutch open earlier or have the clutch open later. Metal Tubac, how you doing, man? He wants to know, yo, Dimitri, is that blue body that was near the top of the box an S-Max body? Let me pull it out for you. I'm glad you asked. It appears to be. I'm not an expert on the S-Max, but it appears to be the S-Max, right? Usually people would put stickers on the car telling you what it is. This guy did not put stickers on the car. It's not like in perfect condition, but it's better than nothing, right? It's what you would call a basher body. I mean, it's complete. Some of this could be fixable. It's not perfect, but it is a proper S-Max body. That is true. All right, let me continue over here. So for now, I'm going to keep the clutch off the car. The reason is, well, I don't have anything. I don't have a clutch bell right now. So I'm going to keep the clutch off the car. Let's see what we got going on here. This is going to be quite important, actually. All right, so it's a pilot nut. Oh, yeah, pilot nut is loose. Anybody notice any kind of not greatness over here? Let me, no problem, Metal Tubac, man. You're a great viewer. You ask a question, I answer a question. That's what matters. Looking at the chat, responding to the viewers, and being a positive, overall good dude. Or woman, whoever you are. Doesn't matter. But, you know, sometimes it matters. Anyway, let me continue, bros. All right, so yeah, this was loose also. There's literally only about 3 threads here. That's not very good. You need like 4 to 5 threads. I notice right there, there's actually a washer pushing the flywheel out. Based on how it fits, that could be removed. So let me tighten this a little bit for now. I mean, it screws on, but I wouldn't say it's very good. Let me tighten this thing. And I'm going to try to install it in this chassis just to see how we are fit-wise. Yeah, we might have to lose the washer completely. But if there's a washer here, there's a high possibility needed to be there for the spacing, right? You really can only lose the washer once you install it in the chassis and see where you are space-wise. All right, so next thing, I just want to do a dry run. This is that Super Nitro from last week, by the way. I was doing some electronics testing and some overall testing. There's actually one other major problem I discovered with the brake system. So depending on that, I might save that for tomorrow. We'll see. So let me stick this thing in here. To start it, you really don't need the clutch bell. Obviously, I'm still missing the bearings. I'm missing the clutch bell, the screws, all that crap, right? Mad Season, how you doing, man? Good old buddy here. Thank you for being a long-time channel member, of course, and the rest of you guys watching, too. So just to give you an update, this is one of the parts that I got from that parts box in a thumbnail. And I'm trying to see if I could stick it into this chassis. I'm curious, guys. You want me to adjust these holes right now? I also noticed this screw does not go in any further. So I don't want to strip it. I'm thinking I should probably Dremel this down, the length of the screw. Mad Season, bro, thank you for being a 46-month member. I appreciate that. And appreciate without the A. That means the ultimate appreciation, you know what I mean? So, as it sits now, it's basically not good. But there is a one-way bearing on the inside, I see. Let me spin it. All right, so there seems to be... I'm not sure if it's supposed to have that noise when you spin it. Compression-wise, mediocre. Mediocre. If you guys want, I could remove the head, or we could take a quick look. Check the glow plug. I don't even know if that thing runs. Let me just see what we got over here. All right, so we do have It does appear to be not garbage. So we'll see. I could pull it with it in the car. Let me try to see if I can get it in the car first. There's going to be a mystery because of spacing. Oh, I got to remove the header. What am I doing? All right, so obviously this header is not for this car. If I put this in, you notice what's going to happen, right? There's no way you can do that. So first step, what do you guys say? Remove the header, try to see if I can have something that fits. I should have something. You know, although question is, do I want to go look for it? All right, let's see what we got. All right, so at least they're not stripped. Let me go see. Yeah, Texas Hill here, correct suggestion. You could flip it. Worst case scenario, yes, you could flip it. But not ideal. Because on this RS4, it's just not really set up for that kind of spacing. And I probably have something I could test it with. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect for now. I'm really just trying to see if the engine will even fire up or spin over. And in which case, if it does, you know, I could continue, maybe repair it. And by that, I mean get a repinch. Yeah, so I'm going to show you, Texas Hill, that you made a good valid point by flipping it. But notice this right here. It's a metal gasket. Now, I have never heard of using metal as a gasket. This ain't like a head gasket in an Audi. Even there, they're using not really metal, I think. They're using copper or something. Right? What's used in real cars? It's like, obviously, Felpro is the brand, but they're not using actual metal. You know what I mean? This won't seal. It appears, holy shamoly, the guy put the screw all the way through the header. There's probably a hole right here. Yeah, it's Rickety Rat goes multi-layer steel. Michael James goes steel. Okay, yeah, steel. But, you know, those are, don't they use something else? It's called dead soft aluminum. Basically not this, though, I think, right? All right, so let me see if I can get something exhaust-wise. We could probably try to fit it. Because the problem is, once I install it, I won't be able to get an exhaust in. I have to get the exhaust in right away. But let me take a quick look inside there, see what it looks like. All right. I mean, it looks like a dead ABN engine, is what it looks like. Hellfire goes, they have 3 to 4 thin layers of steel. Well, bro, I'm getting all of my car information from Watch West Work, basically, you know. I don't watch the car wizard anymore, because that guy doesn't even fix cars. It basically just his wife talks really incoherently about the interior. Anybody ever here watch, you know, you guys might know who he is, or the Car Wizard. It's a very large YouTuber. Guy owns a shop, obviously, you know. His wife, I mean, hey, no hate on her. She's doing what she can for her boo. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have the slightest clue on interior of cars or anything. Her entire car review of the interior revolves around the colors of the dash. Car Wizard, cool, but he don't repair stuff. So, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. If I had a lift, I would probably do that stuff too, you know. But his wife don't know nothing. Well, just about interior design. I was watching a nice review of her. His last video was a G35, I think, right? Obviously, it's an old deadbeat G35. You know, people beat on those cars really hardcore with those VQ engines. And she was basically just fantasizing about the Infinity clock. Everybody knows, if you've ever been in an Infinity product, that they're known for that clock that they have, like the clock. Like, you don't got to talk about the clock. They have the clock, guys. They got the damn clock. Just like Mercedes used to have those stupid phone buttons. Well, let me go see what I can find. Got to get an exhaust, right? An exhaust gasket. It might work. Might have some here. Yeah, I would say most car YouTubers are pretty cringe. Hellfire, I kind of agree. I mean, it's basically all sellout stuff, right? At that point, the point they're at, they're basically just doing ads. The whole video is just an ad, really. I'm looking. I should have an exhaust gasket somewhere. Nope, apparently not here. I gotta go look for an exhaust gasket somewhere. It's either an ad for NordVPN or the Ridge wallet. I'm watching another cool YouTube guy, actually, Hater's Garage. Anybody here watch Hater's Garage? That guy's sickening, I would say, in my opinion. All right, guys, I'm back. Let me see what you all are saying. All right, so I got a couple parts I needed just to see what we can figure out. James wants to know, could I put a different pipe and header on it? I'm going to try to assemble it right now, and I'm going to show you kind of the limitations here, right? There's a good amount of limitations, actually, I would say on the Super Nitro in general. All right, so actually, I could just use this. I could probably just use this. Problem is, these are actually pretty tough to prime because you got to plug both of them, right? It's actually a pain in the butt because you got to prime both. For now, I'm just gonna, well, it doesn't matter. What do you guys want me to use? So I have a couple parts I could use here. I basically just need to assemble the exhaust just to make sure it doesn't leak. I don't need it to be perfect. I just need it not to leak. Oh, Texas Hill goes Rayman Auto. Yes, I watched that as well, man. Let me see. I'm catching up on some of your comments, guys. I feel bad for not reading it. All right. So I basically just got to see what I can make happen. All right. So the first problem is honestly these screws. I would have to Dremel all of these completely. Probably a good idea to cover up the exhaust port first. So if I put the engine in this way, what's going to happen is, okay, it'll be like this, then it'll be like this. All right, guys, I think I'm going to use the CVEC pipe for this one. What do you think? CVEC pipe? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of these parts. CVEC pipe or what? All right, CVEC for now. Only because it has a header already, there's already a gasket. I'm sorry, there's already a coupler there. So it's just easier for me to use the CVEC pipe for now. Just because there's a gasket. All right, so the way this is going to sit is going to be this way. And then the header has to go this way. All right. This is just for testing, by the way. It doesn't mean this is going to be the final setup. This is just to see if this engine is toast or whether I need to repinch it. All right, so far it's going through. All right, I'm going to get the other screw in. All right, well, the screws are in. Let me just tighten them up. We got that. Let me tighten it up a little bit. I'm going to try to stick it in. I'm not sure how it's going to be with spacing. It's pretty tight. Pretty tight. Next problem, like I said, we got an issue with these long screws on the bottom. Cannot get the thing to sit correctly. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a quick cutoff job right now, like literally on live video. You guys want me to do that? Quick cutoff. Also, these screws do not seem to go all the way in, and I don't want to strip nothing. It's probably a ton of thread lock in there, is what I'm thinking. All right, so I'm going to cut off like a good amount of this screw with the Dremel. We'll see how far I can get it in there. All right, let's see. Okay. It's not going to be very fun here because I'm working in a real tight space. Normally, you got to have the correct screws, but I don't seem to have the correct screws for this. So I'm going to have to cut them off gently. All right, so far we got that. It's all protected. No dirt's going to go in there. Let's get to cutting. Move the car away from the back. Should do this on a clean table. Yeah, I have cutting glasses on, guys. I put them on all video. All right. Either the battery's toast, or I'm gonna clean up the edge of that bolt in a little bit. Let me cut off one more and I'll clean up the edge of that with a grinding wheel. Problem is these screws, definitely not the correct screws. Well, I don't need it to be 100% good, but I need it to be at least 50% good. or else trying to start something like this could really put unnecessary stress on the one-way bearing. All right. Let's keep going. Yeah, this thing is close to being dead. Please finish cutting this one screw at least, please. Oh, it's toast. I'm gonna have to break it off and then hope for the best. Jeff Myers, how you doing, man? He goes, make Nitro great again. I think we're all trying. Yeah. George Beltran, not a bad idea. I don't have a nut to fit this right now, to be honest with you. I'm just doing the quick way out here. But you are correct. George goes, you got to put a nut to make sure a nut goes over it. That's a good idea. Robert Jones, what's up? Let me swap. This needs to be replaced, obviously. As you could tell, I have literally close to no grinding surface left. But I just need enough to get the screw in. I don't need that much right now. Did you all see where that screw just went? Oh, okay, I still have it right here. Michael Sucha, what's up, man? Thank you. Let me just finish this one and I'll assemble it. Look at that zoom. Crazy. That should be fine. I don't need it to be 100%. I just need it to go in enough. Yeah, this one's real rough. All right, it's better. Not perfect, but better. All right, bros. Let's see what we got. Might not be 100%. Appreciate you guys tuning in. That's why Eric and Matthew goes, that's a harpoon. I mean, it's definitely better. All right, yeah, that one's good. It's definitely good. It's definitely, you see that? It held up good. Let's get the bottom one in. I mean, you see that? That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything crazy. It's fine. This is an old engine anyway. The goal is to get it to hold on. More than, what's that guy's? Leonardo DiCaprio held on in the Titanic. That's it. It's clean. Look, no screw punk coming out. It's tight. Let me just make sure it spins normally. All right. It spins. The rest of these, honestly, I should probably do them all. Because, yeah. It ain't perfect, but I got 2 in for now. Let's do a demo test run on the Super Nitro. I also need other screws, to be honest with you. That's not even all the screws. I need more screws than that. Oh, man, this live is turning out to be real long. I'm getting tired, bros. I'm getting tired. Let me see if I can do a test fit. Okay. The goal is just to get it to stick in there for now. Let me take a look at this side. All right, it looks totally normal. Obviously, you know, we need a lot of other work, but the goal is just to get the engine to fit with a small block engine mounts. I don't care about the clutch bell or nothing like that right now. I'm wondering if I can get it to fit. I basically just need the chassis to test it out. Oh, I see the problem right here. Damn it. Anybody notice that? What just happened? All right. All right. It might be this header is obstructed by the wheel. You know what? This might need to go to the 300 millimeter body. So these Super Nitro sometimes. Spectra, how you doing, man? Happy Friday to you. First Nitro stream of the year. I'm just installing this half-totaled Yokomo engine. But green goes, just send it. So the problem is, how am I going to fire it up like that? It's going to rub through the wheel and the header. So some of these cars, you could flip it back a little bit with the wheel, but I'm not going to do that now. That might be tomorrow's project. You can make 280 or 300 millimeter wheelbase, actually. All right, let me see if I could just screw it in. My guys, there's still actually a ton of parts I didn't even look at yet. Texas Hill, yes, there's no clutch bell. I really don't need the clutch bell just to fire it up. Like, it doesn't matter. If it's positioned normally, you don't need the clutch bell because it doesn't really matter. All that matters is the flywheel is on. It just needs a little bit of weight to spin. Obviously, there's no clutch bell. I'm just, you know, just checking out to see if the block fits itself with these mounts. Plus, I don't have the clutch bell. That's kind of the problem. Yeah, so we need to take the wheel off at a minimum. Yeah, this header is not the correct header. No wonder why this was the correct header that was on it. We need a narrower header. Yeah, that header is wrong. I'm going to take off the wheel, and I'm just trying to see if it'll fit for now. You understand? It's obviously not a showpiece here. This is called cutting a lot of corners to get things done. Could I get a cutting corners to get things done? Hell yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that. All right, so if I remove the wheel, well, we'll have some working space at least. All right. So now I need screws for the chassis. That's going to be a situation, I think. To be honest with you, I got a part hunt for the screws right now. Yeah, what I should have done is check the motor mount first. I'm going to remove this engine. We're going to do, I'm going to physically check to see which screws go into the motor mount. Oh man, this turned out to be longer than expected. Oh, I got one. It's a 2 millimeter. Jeff Myers, bro, if you want to, I'll gladly accept. All you got to do, dude, hit me up at my email, which is, well, hybrid32494@hotmail.com. I'm going to type it in for you. It's basically this entire YouTube username at hotmail.com. Pretty straightforward. But Jeff Myers, bro, if that's the case, I'll gladly run it on this channel. All right, let's see. I just want to see if these screws go in. I don't need it to be perfect. All right, so yeah, this one is good. You guys see what I'm doing? I'm just making sure the threads are not stripped. These old engine mounts, like, you don't know, it could be completely toast. But so far, I mean, you know, I got one in. I'm doing a pilot run of the screws. You would be surprised. Sometimes you get these for the engine mounts and the screws and the holes are stripped inside. So just to show you what I'm doing, I'm digging through screws. Got one. These seem to be perfect. We got any screw diggers in here? You know what? This one might be too long. I gotta make sure it goes in all the way. Yeah, no, this one's too long. We need shorter ones. Come on, guys. Screw diggers. Where you at? Yeah, this one is way too long. Too long, so I need a shorter one. I'm gonna just dig on my own for now. Obviously, having the correct screws would be great. Would be better. But this is what it is for now. John Smith goes just a screw organizer. Clever, clever. All right, so still exactly the same screw. Not good. I'm still digging through screws, bro. I think I got one. Got one. By the way, anybody finished watching the newest season of Stranger Things? Gotta tell you, I could do better than that. All right, that one's good. This is basically the annoying part. Got one. All right, screw digging over. Well, I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's just a lot of things that are hard to believe, like how a high school kid understands what a black hole is. You know, it seems that they have black hole knowledge. That's basically not something a high school kid in like the 1980s would have had pre-internet, right? You think he would have known about black holes? I just don't think so. Spectra 3, that's a good suggestion here, bro. I actually don't have, I think my printer is pretty small. I use the A1 Mini. It doesn't have that much of a large print surface. So I don't think that gridfinity thing, it's going to take me a while. All right, let me remove it. See people talking about some vintage Tamiya grasshoppers and hornets. Classics. You know what else is a classic, though? I'm going to show you right there. The lunchbox. That is probably the most typical classic these days. So, oh my goodness. I am really doing a lot of unnecessary activities here to get things correctly situated. This might not be a good idea on my behalf. Honestly, I should be digging through the rest of the parts box. That's kind of what the stream should be about. But I need to test this engine out to see if it's a goner or if it could be at least 50% runner. Obviously, gear mesh is not going to be a massive issue right now because we got no gears. Let me just reverberate. My main goal here is just to see if we have any fit. Still close to 100 viewers here. I appreciate you guys. So, in case people here didn't know, without these small block engine mounts, you would have to use these holes. And these have been expanded for gear mesh adjustment, but normally you would not have gear mesh adjustment normally. Yeah, Spectra V3, as you know, what's it called? There's basically a new generation of printers. I'm likely gonna upgrade my printer. I mean, the A1 Mini was, it's already relatively close to being outdated. It prints fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But, it was at the time, it was a good entry-level printer, but now, the new releases from Bamboo Labs have basically surpassed that by far. We're talking high-level surpassing. I'm likely going to get a Core XY. All right, let me see how we are just in general. Might be going overboard here, honestly. All right, so just want to see how this thing sits. All right, so it looks like actually when I put on the clutch belt, it will be relatively perfect. All right, I'm going to lock her down. Yeah, I'm just doing a preliminary test fit. This is obviously not going to be the engine in this car. I have a proper OS for it. But just to verify the small block engine mount, because I honestly bought this entire lot just for the mounts, right? I mean, I don't know anyone that did that ever before, but like I did that. So let's check out this side. All right, so I mean, it's got a good amount of clearance. Let me just move the wheels. What is up with the disc brake? Why are the brakes on? Brakes should not be on. Oh, I think I know why. Yeah, brakes should not be on. Why are the brakes on? There's no reason here for the brakes to be on. Yeah, my goal is just to get the flywheel to spin and the fuel system to work. I don't care about the rest. That's basically my only goal here. But why is the fuel... Why is this thing not moving correctly? All right, this needs to be looked at. There's something wrong with the brake linkage, 100% for sure. Brake linkage is somehow toast. Let me remove this whole upper part. There's something wrong here. All right, now it moves. All right, so there was some kind of obstruction in that section. Oh, I see what it is. You know what? I'm not going to tell you right now. I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow. So the one thing I notice, I think once it's running, it'll be okay. It's not actually going to be that close to the flywheel. I mean, honestly, guys, I could go probably fire this up right now. It's ready. To a degree. Robert Jones, so do I have a test bench for motors? I did. Don't know where it is anymore. So that's kind of the situation currently. Okay, I'm going to cut off this much. This is not like the best fuel line, to be honest with you. They wrapped it in like a bag, and now it's basically wrinkled like crazy everywhere. All right, Texas Hill wants to hear it. I don't know, bro. This could be highly subjective. This is not one of my better endeavors out here. Plus, it's kind of crazy cold outside. Let me just see if I can get it set up correctly here. Oh, thank God I cut off just the perfect amount. That would have been real embarrassing if I did not. Let me show you guys on a zoom in. Good thing I cut off the perfect amount. All right, it's good. It has a good amount of tightness and flex. Damn, where's my other screw for the front? Oh, here it is. It's going to be highly subjective. Melissa, do you know where my fuel is? I can't find my fuel bottle the past 3 days. Somebody come over and jack my fuel bottle. I might honestly have to use a starter box. I don't want to have to do that. MGW wants to know, is it better to have the nitro enter the engine cold or warm? Well, I would say you want it to be cold. Probably because of density, right? I would say the laws of thermodynamics probably still apply. I know when I went to a gas racing event, like we're talking fit scale racing, obviously the best racers out there were putting their fuel in like ice buckets. I don't know if the same policy technically applies for nitro fuel, but I think, yeah, they were definitely icing their fuel, right? They were icing the crap out of their fuel. And I'll tell you something, those were the winners. You know what I mean? But I don't think it was related to the fuel alone. It was likely just they were good at what they do. I mean, it's technically ready. I don't know if it'll be a runner, but... I don't know where my fuel bottle is. Melissa, do you know where my fuel bottle is? I literally lost my fuel bottle. All right, let's see what we got here so far. So we got literally the world's biggest situation. The question is, will it run? There's nothing here stopping it from running, I think, other than compression and luck. All right, so the system is free. It shouldn't have any issues. It spins freely. It doesn't matter that I have no clutch bell on, by the way. That's irrelevant. Let me see what happens if I put this back on. So currently the drivetrain spins. But I'll tell you, yeah, the racers out there, yes, they were icing their fuel. But they were using gas. But it was basically race gas. But I would say the concept still is the same. I'm only going to put this on just temporarily. If like the brakes don't work or whatever, I'm going to remove it. I have to take a look at this entire upper linkage. There's something wrong with this entire linkage. But you understand, those guys, you know, that were icing their fuel, they're there to win classes and win sponsorships, right? Like, yeah, there's definitely something wrong with this. Now we got no movement. I have to undo this. There's something binding in this area, causing it to basically not align correctly. Can't be doing that. There's something wrong in this area. Something up with these screws for sure. It feels crooked, this entire assembly. Yeah, when you put on the upper Y brace, so just called the Y brace really. This Y brace is just a brace. It shouldn't be in any way creating friction in this system at all. But you need this brace. Without this brace, you basically don't have any upper bracing for the rear end. But why is it not allowing it? Okay, so now I loosened it, it spins. That's pretty weird, actually. All right, let me just keep it like that. All right, bros, what do you think? I'm honestly not sure. Damn it. All right, MGW, go start it. All right, it's already 10:30. There we go, baby. Throttle return spring, done. See that? Throttle return spring. The TPS reports of throttle return springs. Schumacher, beat that, baby. Schumacher can't even beat that. Yeah, so where we are in the carb is relatively low on that idle. I think I'm going to raise the idle a little bit. These are single needle ABN engines. They basically run like crap. All right. If it starts, I'll have to go from there. I don't know. But these ABN engines, they generally need pretty much a giant idle gap. It's kind of their situation. But yeah, the flywheel clears. There's really no issues. This spins for now relatively okay. I got to figure this out. Melissa, do you know where my fuel is? Somebody find me some fuel. All right. Great girl goes fire in the hole. I'm going to try to find some fuel, bro. I don't know if I want to go outside. I'm afraid my furnace is going to get overloaded again. All right, give me a second. Well, guys, we're going to have to open up a new fuel container. And a new Traxxas bottle. You believe that? I literally lost my damn fuel bottles. But these bottles are pretty good. At least Traxxas gives you a fuel bottle. You got to give them a hell yeah for that. Right, bros. I don't know where my starter is actually even. Where did I put all my stuff? I must have left it in the bag in the car. This is just basically like 14% oil, 20% nitro, nothing exciting. It's reliable fuel for like old engines. Come on, bottle. You gonna play games, bottle? Oh, this thing is not opening good. It's like spinning. Okay, we got it. All right. Come on, bottle. Jorge Beltran, how you doing? Jorge wants to know, with a good question here. How hard is it to make a YouTube channel? Honestly, anybody can make anything they want, right? I'm not an exception. I'm just a person that's been, well, consecutively doing videos since the year 2013. You know, you can make anything you want. The question is, are you ready to dedicate a decade of your life to it? That's really, really the question you need to ask. You know, everyone thinks you can just have overnight success, but you need to really kind of ask yourself, are you ready to dedicate 20 hours a week to that success? At least 20, at least. You know, when I started out, I was basically making videos just for me that I wanted to watch on the big screen. That was it. And I think that mindset, you know, make videos you like to make for you. Hopefully you could find enough viewers that also like the topic. And you guys will be chilling. All right. Oh, we got Sandy at the top of the stairs right now looking at me. Somebody forgot to close the basement door. And it wasn't. Actually, yes, it was me. Damn it. Melissa, Sandy trying to get in. I see his cat face over there. I see a cat face looking at me. BBT, man, you got it. I'm here for a little while. You guys like that advice? It's honestly the most general, accepted truth you'll ever hear from anybody, I think, on YouTube. Of course, you can't get away without spilling some. That's why I usually use a funnel. Colin Gu wants to know, why is it purple? His is blue. So some of the blends have their own colors. Hold on a second. I gotta show you this, guys. We got the Nitro Cat Sandy over there. He's trying to get in, guys. John Smith, how you doing? He's trying to get in. He knows he's not allowed in the basement, bro. Sandy, are you trying to look all stealthy over there on the top of the stairs? He's looking all stealthy. Look at that. Sickening. Sandy, I'm about to go up. You better go back out there. Sandy not allowed in the basement because he's going to stay here forever. Never going to see him again. Sandy. Giddy up, kitty. That's right. Go out the door. Go out the door. Do it. Do it. Oh, he did it. Sickening. All right, that's Nitro Gang Sandy over there for you guys. His main goal in life is to go into the basement with the RCs. That's basically his main goal in life. If I even, God forbid, leave the door open a little bit, he will open that SOB right away. So yes, the colors are basically different blends. The 20% RTR fuel is purple. Personally, I like it. It's good. It ain't like a race fuel or nothing, but it's a good fuel for, you know, not being expensive. And considering, you know, on this channel, I have like a ton of old engines. Kind of in your best interest to run like a high oil fuel like this. Obviously, if you have more of a performance-oriented type of desire to live your life by, then, you know, you can get something with like lower oil content. I hope this fuel tank is good. Guys, I checked the fuel tank. I know it's good. Yeah. All right. I'm a little nervous, y'all. Don't know where my roto start is. Let me go take a quickie look around. Be right back. Let me go take a look around for the rotor start. All right, bros, what do you think? We got over 100 viewers here. You think this is going to be a fire in a hole? I managed to locate the rotor start. Let me see what I need to get. I mean, honestly, I should have checked the glow plug. I guess we're going to find out shortly, aren't we? Let me get some stuff I need. If it don't work, it don't work. Let me go see. All right, Monty, Crisco, all of you guys, appreciate you showing up. I'm going to do what I can. I mean, no guarantees, but we're going to give it a shot. Where's Sandy? He trying to come downstairs again? Probably is. Appreciate you guys. Let me see what we got. I mean, hopefully it's okay. Give me a second. Those are Sandy's cat toys. All right, 106. Let's go see. I'm gonna try to actually, you know what? I should probably prime it here, right? Yeah, I'm gonna prime it here. Let's see if this primer works. So here we got the fuel line. All right, I do see some fuel. All right, yeah. Some fuel has entered the orifice. Orifice is entered. All right, bros, 105. If I can get a hell yeah, I'm gonna try to go fire this up. It's literally about 25 degrees outside right now. But Nitro Gang never misses a fire up opportunity at night. Oh, what's that? Bros, I told you, I have RCs everywhere. Thought I was joking? No, there's one on the floor by the dishwasher. Sick. Sick. All right. Yeah, good point from Texas Hill. I'm going to remove the wheel hub hex. Actually, this is pretty stuck in there. So that one is not coming off, but I'm going to remove the wheel hub hex. Good point there from Texas. Well, let's party like it's 2026, huh? 2026 party. I'll put the light on as soon as I'm out. Oh, it's a little bit of a earthquake here. The lights will go on as soon as I'm out, right there. Oh. Yeah, Tim goes on, I have a tube to put through the window. So yes, I do. Problem is, the windows in this house, they all have those nets. Unless I rip the net, you know, to put the tube through. Plus, it's not very convenient where I'm doing the stream today. I used to do it in a different area. But now I'm in a, well, not so convenient there. But you're right, ultimately, that would be the best idea. You know, but I'm a little bit not in the best idea today. Let me just get this ready. But you are right. I got to work on repositioning my tube setups. Thing is, where the area I used to do the streams long ago, somebody blew my chair on the ground. It is that area basically. I don't do streams there anymore. All right, bros. It's pretty brick out here. You can see there's still some snow. Question is, will we have a fire in the hole? Well, glow plug could be toast. Should have checked that. It could not be toast. We'll find out. Oh, and of course, this header is not the perfect for access over here. All right, let's see what we get. I'll try to adjust the RPM as needed. 1, 2, 3, fire in the hole. Damn, one-way bearing slipping. One-way bearing not doing anything. One-way bearing toast. All right, I'm gonna have to bring a starter box out here, bros. Sick. sick. Oh my goodness. Only problem is I don't remember which position is forward. And without the flywheel, I don't know which position is actually still forward. Let me just see which way it should be. Give me a second. So this way. All right, so if I position it, it spins that way. It spins left. So this spins left. And so it's gonna have to be this way. Spins right. No, it's gonna have to be this way. All right, well, I guess we're gonna find out. Can't really tell without the wheels or the clutch belt connected at all. This is gonna be pretty much impossible. What do you guys think is gonna happen? I don't know if I'll even line it up, actually, at this point. Well, that sounded promising. All right, all aspects, what's up? Everybody, will we have a fire in the hole here today? Highly subjective. All right, so that spins forward. It should have been, I feel like there's a leak somewhere. It needs maybe a little more fuel. It's a runner. Gotta get it running better. Raise the idle, raise the idle. Oh, damn it. Didn't have enough time. My bros, come on. It was a starter. It started. Did you hear that? It's only going to get better from here, guys. This is only the beginning. All right? Hybrid does whatever it takes. Let's try one more. Fire in the hole. Gotta stand away from my jacket. My jacket gonna get dirty. It's hella blue. The runner. I'm gonna tune it. Tuning it. Can't kill it. Like I said, fire in the hole. I'm gonna let her run a little while. Hell yeah. Seems to run. I'm gonna let her run a little while more. Oh, we got exhaust gasket leak. Right there, we got a leaker. Major leak. That's right, Tim. I could smell it from here. It's a junk. This thing is a junk, but it's a runner. Yeah, this is like 25 years old, probably. I would say a solid 25er. Civic, baby. Can I get a hell yeah? So far, it hasn't shut down more than one time. See, you don't need a clutch belt. Who needs a clutch belt? Not this guy. Hell yeah. Told you guys, we don't need no clutch belt in here. My dudes, we don't need a clutch belt. Clutch belts. We don't need no clutch belts, baby. Although we got big oil leak. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, this header is not the correct header. It's gonna run even better tomorrow. Take a look at that oil. It's spurting out. Oh baby, that oil is dripping. Look at that drip. That's called oil drip. Holy moly, drippage. Unburned fuel, and it's still running. What's up, Bevins? Yeah, bro, Bevins. Fired up a crazy super nitro with a garbage engine, and it's dripping. We got drippage. It's so rich. Biggest, how you doing? Rusty RC Nitro, how you doing, Customs? That's right, P. Diddy oil leak. Holy moly. That's right, Tarek. I'm surprised myself, bro. It's still running. It's a sickening. Biggest oil leak in the industry today. The Exxon sponsored. Supposed to be sponsored by Exxon. Sick. I'm gonna let her run out. Idle gap is not garbage. All right, idle gap is pretty normal actually for an ABN. I'm gonna let her run out of fuel. It might as well all leak out anyway though. Yeah, I'm afraid to floor it because the oil leak is just not a good idea right now. It's gonna die. With that oil leak, it's probably not a good idea to rev it. I could try a little bit, but probably gonna shut down. Cold out here, guys. All right. I did it. Giving it some juice. It's gonna run out. It's leaning out, leaning out, leaning out. Got fuel bubbles. That's right, only RC. I'm gonna let her run out a little bit. And that's it. Basically no more fuel left in the tank. I mean, bros, it ran like a half a tank of fuel, no problemo. Could I get a hell yeah for that? So obviously, we know that this pipe a header is not for this chassis. It's just not the correct design. It's leaking oil there through the bottom. Ben, thank you, bro. I mean, you know, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but I would say it's 50% dead. You know, 50% is better than 100% dead, but I would say 50. I'm gonna attempt a repinch, but my dudes, I think, come on, you gotta give it to me. I bet people here didn't think this would be a runner tonight, right? I mean, come on. Honestly, that idle gap for an ABN engine is real good. That means it's not 100% dead. So we got ourselves a half 50% runner. Hell yeah, I'm happy. All right, let me go back in. It's a runner. Now I just gotta figure out the rest of it. Yeah, the rest of it is basically all of that. Let's go back in. I'm gonna turn off the light in a little bit because it's really killing that battery out here. But I think overall, that was highly rewarding. Highly rewarding. I'm a little amazed myself, honestly. I'm gonna fix the electric starting, the rotor start system. Actually, no. Damn, I forgot that one-way bearing is toast. All right, so that's pretty much dead end. If the bearing is toast, I'm gonna need a whole one-way bearing for it. And that can get real costly on something like this. That's kind of the problemo. Not good about the one-way bearing. I was hoping it would be solid, but it's less solid than Madonna's music. Oh, let me go back in. My dudes, let's check out the chassis. Good news is it's a runner. Yeah, I'm gonna have to disassemble all of it. So it's a good amount of work, actually. Kind of a pain in the butt, but. So bearing, I don't think it could be installed backwards, but it could be. I'm gonna check, Greg, bro. Thank you for that suggestion. Highly possible. Once I remove it, I'm gonna see, obviously without the clutch bell, I don't know 100% easily. I can't tell which way is forward, right? But I can tell that we got a 50% runner. I'm gonna let it cool a little bit. I'm gonna spin over the flywheel and see what we got. Oh, that is the compression, I would say, of an egg. Yeah, I am. That is egg level compression, meaning nothing. Surprisingly, these ABN engines still run, even with no compression. Do you believe that? Yeah, Greg, I think you could be correct, actually. I did notice that. I don't want to point it out too much, because it was obviously my mistake. But we got the compression, I would say, of a cooked egg. But the fuel system, can't kill the fuel system. David, how you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah, so these are, Tom are correct, these are ABN engines. They basically always have the compression of a cooked egg. It's no surprise. Well, I didn't really have dinner yet, but I'm planning on getting some Domino's pasta, actually. Yeah. Greg, everybody, yeah, these old ABN engines, believe it or not, even with like low compression, what winds up happening is, and oh my God, we got the oil leak of the century over there from that header. So, Pineapple, how you doing, man? Yeah, that has to be completely removed, and obviously that header is not the correct header for this car. So, let's see, I wonder what would happen if I put this on backwards. No, obviously nothing good. If I put this on backwards, you would just have a side header. That's trash. Let me see if I can find a proper header for an RS4 on eBay. That's the problem. The RS4 headers are pretty much a disaster. Let me see. I need like an RS4 header. I'm looking at eBay right now. Yeah, these are all not the correct headers. These people don't know how to correctly advertise. Believe it or not. Okay, I'm not even going to show you this because these are all incorrect listings. Pineapple Man, thank you. I appreciate that. And I hope everyone else is doing great too. Ray Coral, bro, you take care. I'll see you on the next one. This basically just needs any kind of 180-degree style header that is not this one. So reality is this motor has to come out anyway. It needs to be repinched. What I do want to kind of point out, see where I don't know where that video is. I had a bit of a saving here somewhere. I might save it for tomorrow. There's an old motor trend. Tim, thank you, bro. Taco Bell. Melissa, get dressed. Special thanks to Tim, as always. But I would say, yeah, a lot of lessons were learned. And one of the lessons is here today. Old ABN engines will run, but they will basically have the compression of an egg. And I would say not even a good egg. Not even like, you know, fried rice type egg. If you put some eggs into a fried rice, it'll have a worse compression than that. So now that it's cooled down, I could check again. I see you guys are talking about that RTV. Just so you know, that was me. One of the things I always tend to do when I clean any engine before I really disassemble it crazy. So special thanks again to Tim for that super chat to the channel. I appreciate that. Is I always at least remove the carb, clean everything really good. That gives you a good idea at the crankshaft. And then I just silicone a little bit of it. Not crazy, but just enough. In this case, the carb is usually not the problem. The compression is the problem. So I'm going to spin it again. Yeah, there's nothing there. I could literally spin it with my pinky finger. And it's already cooled down. So it's toast. I see people asking, what is the future for this spaceship? Well, Star Trek Enterprise already went where no man has gone before. And this car will go there again. I'm kidding around. Let me see what you guys are saying. Graham, thank you, bro, for showing up. I think, obviously, this engine is not for this car. I have an OS that's supposed to be in this car. But first, I need to figure out why we got a brake issue. I already kind of know why. And I'm not going to tell you guys exactly. But it has to do with the way the brake rotor is sitting. So that might be tomorrow's video. I don't know. Honestly, I could repair this all in like 12 and a half minutes. But I think a lot of these lessons that I find and work on, they're a little bit interesting. Let me take a quick look at the rest of this box. There's actually a ton of crap I didn't even go over, which I feel bad about. But I might save this for tomorrow. I am hungry, bros. I'm going to be here with you for a couple more minutes, okay? And probably continue the rest of it tomorrow. Lasso Kid, what's up, man? Yep. Pulse with goals. I'm sure that fuel is nice and cold. As you were saying, oh, dude. Well, it was, as soon as I went out there, I was cold as well with it, you know? I'm wearing a sweater and a thick-ass jacket. So in my area right now, oh my goodness, it's late. Taco Bell's only open for like 2 more hours. Thank God it's Friday night. All right, bros, that's about it. I think we had some good success. And I'll probably continue with what I have for this car. This is actually not the engine. This is just a test. And we'll see each other tomorrow. I don't want to leave with over 100 viewers here watching, but I am satisfied. You know, sometimes you got to start something up in order to find out that your compression is equal to that of a cooked egg. Actually, no, a runny egg. You know, today I was watching some old Hulk Hogan videos. I don't know if anybody ever seen here, but there was a kind of a comedic style video with Hulk Hogan and Mean Gene, the announcer, where he was training him. And they were drinking raw eggs. That's basically the compression of this engine. Raw eggs, baby. Nitro Pimp, bro, it was a runner. If you didn't see it, go see it. I don't know if I saw your comments there, but, you know, it's late already. But this thing was a runner, baby. Ran half a tank, no problem. Just going to do a couple minor tweaks, and I think this engine is going to go into another chassis. It's going to go into another chassis. This is not the chassis. This is just a tester. It might actually go into that other silver RS4. It might be a silver gang. All right, bros, you all take care. Once again, Happy New Year. Tim, everybody, thank you guys for checking out the stream. I'll be back with you in a matter of multiple hours. You all take care and have a good night. Tim, I gotta go wake up Melissa. Okay, she probably fell asleep on me right now. That's what happens when Nitro Sandy cuddles with you. You get sleepy. You can't help it. He's a sleepy cat. And with that, I bid you guys good night. See you all next time.